My name is Randall Callanan, and I'm a civil rights lawyer, and I'm here with Blessing Wosu because she was discriminated at the Post Oak Hotel. 2 weeks ago, a lawsuit was brought against the Post Oak Hotel when a Houston attorney said that the Post Oak Hotel was discriminating against him because he was an African American wearing a hat. And now we have the same, almost the same exact thing, where Blessing was at a dinner in an appropriate dress when suddenly people at the restaurant from the Post Oak Hotel put a piece of cloth over her shoulder saying you shouldn't expose your shoulders, when there was a whole bunch of Caucasian people with their shoulders exposed. There was nothing wrong with the attire that Blessing was wearing at the time. We don't know where that piece of cloth had been when they put it on her shoulder. That was extremely rude, and she was treated differently than the other people who just happened to be white or Caucasian. And then we look at the Instagram website, Instagram site for the Bloomin' Bee restaurant, as it's called, at the Post Oak Hotel here, and there's a whole bunch of white women with their shoulders exposed, and even more so than Blessing, because Blessing's dress had straps on it. Some of them don't even, the other individuals don't even have straps. So what we see here is a pattern of disparate treatment against African Americans by the Post Oak Hotel. Jim Crow is still alive, but apparently he's sneakier, using the dress code, some vague dress code, and saying that an African American individual violates it. This makes the African Americans feel uncomfortable and not welcome at these places. As a matter of fact, on that occasion, Blessing and the people at her table were the only African Americans in the restaurant. And you wonder why that is. Well, if they're treated in this fashion, in a discriminatory fashion, of course this is what will happen. The civil rights movement was now over 60 years ago. The law that we have used to file a lawsuit in federal court against the Post Oak Hotel and their parent companies is over 60 years old, designed to prevent just this kind of behavior. And when that law was passed 60 years ago, a lot of those people probably thought, well, this problem will be over. It won't take 60 years. But here we are using a civil rights era law in order to get fair treatment for African Americans. Blessing is highly educated, never ever been in trouble with the law, is an author of several books, and is getting her doctorate in educational leadership. She wants to be a leader of the education of our children, and at a time when the laws are trying to prevent even the history of African American prejudice from being in the schools, people who want to be, and deserve to be leaders are being discriminated against. We need things to change. And we need the Post Oak Hotel and their parent companies to take notice and to prevent and train people and not discriminate against African Americans in their hotel and their restaurants. Next we'll hear from Cynthia.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Cole. I'm the Executive Director for the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees, Union Local 1550. I'm also a community advocate, and I sit on the board for the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. I ask this question to the community. Aren't you tired? Here we are 60 years later, standing on the shoulders of the civil rights frontier accomplishments. And so guess what? Minorities can come through the front door. You can sit down, but we're going to still treat you differently. You can come through the front door and you can have more than enough level of education, level of sophistication, level of just being able to enjoy in an environment like everyone else. But you are not the right tone. You're a minority. And so because we cannot break the law per se. We do a camouflage. The camouflage is this dress code. Blessing can come in with all of her beautiful sister queens, but they're not going to be treated the same way as all the beautiful Cinderellas. Anybody got a problem with that? I do. It would be wonderful to just be able to enjoy, but instead we have to make positively sure that we appease whomever. So for the Post Oak Hotel, for whoever is in charge, maybe you should be embarrassed by the people that you have hired, because maybe they misinterpreted what the policy really stands for. But today, we stand against any discrimination against anyone that goes to this hotel simply because they're a minority. Somebody better take a closer look at where we are, because in 2023, I'm not spending money with you. I have to beg you, go spend my money somewhere else.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Can I have your spelling of your name?
Yes, last name C-O-L-E, first name Cynthia, C-Y-N-T-H-I-A. Thank you.
Next we'll have hear from Jeff Reese.
Hi, my name's Jeff Reese. 26 years in law enforcement. I'm a current member of the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice with Johnny Mata and Miss Cynthia here. Past president of the Houston Peace and Justice Center. And it was on a thing called the Remembrance Project from Precinct 1. Ironically, just up the road, there's a memorial for a man that was lynched. And the Remembrance Project is trying to remember this history, because if you don't face it, you'll forget it. And I think it was, James said this the best. My brain's not so good, but he says that not everything that can be confronted can be changed, but before something can be changed, it has to be confronted.
Yeah.
This type of racism, and we'll just call it that, is not new. Not to this area. This is one of the richest areas in the city of Houston. Like you said, the poshest hotel that exists. But I didn't know that people that look like me can understand what it feels like to have a darker complexion, and everywhere you go, you look different. And you feel people are looking at you all the time. So what's going to make you feel better? Oh yeah, bring some ragged rag of a cloth out and embarrass them in front of everybody. That'll make them feel a lot better. Or it'll send a message. It'll send a message that we don't like these people, we don't want them here. What's the difference between back then? They lynched people that they didn't like. Now they just embarrass them. Things haven't changed very much. And I think it's shameful, and at least I'm going to be here to represent and call them out for what it is. And maybe part of the Remembrance Project was getting the dirt where the person died that was lynched. Maybe we can just come here to the Post Oak Hotel and grab some dirt and memorialize them. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Can I have your name and spelling, sir?
Yes, Reese, Jeff, R-E-E-S-E, first name Jeff, J-E-F-F, and I'm with the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. Thank you.
Blessing, you want to get something? Okay, so now Blessing has filed, we have filed a lawsuit, so she can't speak about the facts about the case. That's contained in the lawsuit and in the press release. But if you have any questions about what she would like to have accomplished or how she feels about the situation, if you have a question for her, because she has nothing prepared, so.
Do you have any questions, or you want me to just freestyle it?
Let's see. So, yeah, why don't you just go ahead then, if you have no questions.
I definitely want to see a change happen. This behavior can't continue to happen. As my colleagues have said beside me, it was extremely embarrassing for me. I went home and cried. I had many sleepless nights. Already suffer from alopecia due to stress. So it's honestly, to say terrible, that would be an understatement. So I believe that they need some more, the restaurant needs more training or something, but this just cannot go on.
Thank you. Any questions?
How many times have you been to this restaurant?
I've been to this restaurant twice.
And the first time, did it treat you right or no?
The first time, the hotel stopped one of my peers that was celebrating an event, but inside the restaurant, it was a normal day.
And the second time?
It was when the event happened. It was just terrible.
What went through your mind when all this stuff was going on?
Honestly, I was shocked. As soon as she put the cloth over me, myself, along with the party members, our mouth was dropped. Our jaw was just so dropped. We could not believe what happened. My back was actually facing the host that did it, so I looked up like, oh my God, I was stricken with panic. Couldn't believe it.
And everybody was looking over that.
Everybody was looking. It was. I feel like I was being made a spectacle, and it was so embarrassing.
Not cool.
Not cool at all. Their response was that was their policy, that they're supposed to give the patrons whose shoulders are showing a cloth. However, it just so happened to seem like it was just me because I was African American, while the other patrons in the restaurant had, spaghetti straps way thinner than the ones I had on.
Yeah, at least they offer you like to have a jacket and coat just to cover.
They did not offer me. They just put it on me. They put the shawl-like cloth on top of me. They did not offer me anything. I was totally caught off guard by it.
They didn't even ask her. They just put it on.
So you were just there sitting down and it's...
As soon as I sat down, I just sat down getting ready to, enjoy my meal with my family, friends, and they just put it on me. No warning, no nothing. I did question it. I looked around. I questioned it. However, I did not want to ruin the occasion that was at hand, so I said, let me call back and speak to a manager. So I spoke to, I emailed the corporate, and they never responded back to me.
Yeah.
So you and your friends all left that night, just left, right?
After everything happened, we did leave eventually after we left.
So right now we want justice here, like this.
Definitely want justice for this situation. Like I said before, policies definitely need to be changed within the hotel, within the restaurants, and everything regarding that.